Go.
Am I able to record this on my end?
Yeah, I already hit the recording.
You did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it just said scene one.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Sinikas, and I'm the founder of Ladypreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade talk show, World Women's Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the Changemakers, and co-author for 3 soon-to-be launched books that will be launched on entrepreneurship secrets. And today, for the first time in history, I have someone from Atlanta, Georgia, here with Latin America, and his name is Marcus Blandin. Marcus haven't given any interviews that type ever before. So I'm very honored to have you, and let me add some people that are waiting to get in.
Okay.
So Marcus Blandin is a serial entrepreneur, the founder of Millionaire International TM and FIE Business and Financial Solutions. He's a well sought after award-winning business coach, international speaker, and financial literacy expert. Is the 2-time #1 best-selling author of Good Credit is Cool, Great Credit is Sexy, and Monetize Your Motivation, and has been entrepreneur since the age of 8. So I basically, when I put up your profile in my Facebook, then I said that we are going to have someone which is literally the BS result-driven coach. And to be honest, I got so many messages like, what is this? So tell us your story. How did you end up doing what you're doing? Obviously, you're loving what you're doing because the results are absolutely amazing. And all the empowerment, what you're doing for all the girls that you have been helping. So tell us a little more about that.
I mean, business coaching is my passion, of course. We own a financial solutions company, real estate investor, some couple of JVs and things like that. But I'm all about giving back. My definition of success is not how much you can make for yourself, but how many other people can you help them become successful, not maybe even just as successful as you, because of course they still have to do the work. But, you know, if you give them the knowledge, can they implement that? Can they, you know, execute that, to use that as a driving tool to get them to where they need to be as well? So business coaching, it sort of fell in my lap, with a lot of people asking me to help them after my first successful business back in 2005, which was my first 7-figure business. And ever since then, we've been building and switched lanes because I was in the fashion industry.
So tell us also a little more about the empowerment, the program that you are helping and have already helped 50 plus girls achieving over 3 million in scholarships. Like how one can be in the program, and what is it?
Okay, so that's our kids mentoring program that you're talking about. So we've helped 50 plus girls receive over $3 million in scholarships. And basically my goal with that was to teach them how to get paid to go to school. And I was a college athlete and we were hungry. Um, we couldn't have jobs, so that's no fun. So these group of girls that come through that program, they're actually athletic and they're athletes. So what I taught them was, you're going to take your GPA up to here, 3.2 GPA minimum. Here's all the requirements for a whole list of scholarships, which I had my team build out and some other parents to help with, who were some other successful business owners, and we merged the two. So I showed them and coached them and everything when it came to their sport, which at that time was basketball. And from academics to basketball, well, if you have an academic scholarship that covers everything, then, I mean, the basketball scholarship that covers everything for your sport, everything in academics goes to you. So I literally was telling kids, look, if you do everything I ask you to do, not only will I make you a state champion, I'll make you at least in the top 25 nationally in the country. And they ended up ranking number 7 in the entire country. I'll help you go to school for free. And that was the deal. They signed the contracts and the parents were all in, and it was wonderful.
Beautiful inside out, in a sense that everything that you have done from the philanthropic point of view, and also by literally coaching thousands of successful business owners and corporate VPs and directors and everything, specializing on the financial service industry. So what is the one common issue most business owners and entrepreneurs have that you have noticed over the years that you have helped them with?
If I had to pick one, it's probably going to be their marketing. It ties into marketing and sales, of course, because that's the backbone, that's the driving force on how you're going to create your revenue, pay your employees, everything else. A lot of people don't know that I come in contact with over the many years of coaching, is they don't understand who they're marketing to. They're just marketing to the masses, and yes, that's a form of mass marketing, but they don't understand their market. They may understand the industry, but they don't understand the market. They haven't took the time to create a buyer's persona, which is, some of them will call it a target audience. They haven't taken the time to create that, to know who they're marketing to, which, also ties into their USP, their unique sales proposition, to where if they can't get that together, then who are you marketing to? That, in sense, conveys everything on how you're going to market almost your entire marketing plan. So they're just marketing, you know what I mean? They haven't figured out their niche. They haven't streamlined it on who are their actual clients and how to grasp their attention to where they go get all the data about them and build that avatar to where they know exactly who they're marketing to. And now they can create that marketing message that resonates with who they're trying to attract. Because to me, marketing is about attracting. You don't chase the dollars. You don't chase clients. You attract them.
As you coach also not startups or just entrepreneurs, but you also coach the entrepreneurs or business owners that want to grow or scale their business.
Yes.
Would the client avatar be different when you want to scale, for example, and especially if you want to go global or international? What is the most important part there to remember?
So let's cover international first. I would say international, you have to know the culture. What we do here in America, and just like when I was just over in Sydney, right, in Australia, the cultures are different. So if you don't understand the culture of where you're globally trying to do business at, that's the first thing you better do. So I was introduced to that years ago when I was doing my international business degree. And that's the very first thing that came out. You went and studied different areas of different countries to try to figure out what different things mean. So, if I'm in Australia, when they're saying mate and they're saying these type of things, you better know what some of this is, which makes you relatable. And you can adjust your messaging and your marketing to now appeal to that international, that global audience, which a lot of people can do if once they learn how to pivot and make the adapt to their own market where they're at. So I always say, look, if you can adapt and adjust at home, then you maybe do well go globally. But a lot of people, they limit themselves. A lot of the business owners, until of course, you know, they get a coach, whether it be me or whether it be someone else. Because I'm the guy that says you should never have a business without a coach. Period.
That's
Period. Point blank. It's not because I'm I'm a coach who coach other coaches and mentors because I have a program that makes them best-selling authors. And if they want to be a mentor or coach, I help them with that, and they build out their programs online. But you know, I still have a coach. My coach still has a coach. You get what I mean? So the knowledge and the learning does not stop. The person who, you know, automatically tells me, oh, well, you know, I see the other coaches who they, oh, well, I don't need a coach. I am the coach. You know, I just sort of laugh because that's like the most absurd, ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Learning does not stop. There's always someone 2, 3, 7, 10 tiers higher than you. So, you know, why not keep reaching for the top? Why not keep stretching your mindset? Because once it stretches, it never goes back.
so. In how many markets are you today? Like you just mentioned Australia. Is this something that you actively already in, or what are those markets that?
Correct. So actively, I think it was 7. I think it's six different countries now. And we're trying to, of course, expand that with all what's going on in the world right now. That sort of got put on halt like everything else. But we're still doing a lot of virtual stuff. We still have the membership program that's online that a lot of people are in with our Millionaire Moves platform that we utilize for the monthly membership, where everybody go access the videos and all the coaching things that are in that platform.
So let's talk about little, like, as we have the title, How to Dominate the Decade Under the Circumstances. If you see one thing, and a lot of people are talking about fears, and especially one is individual fear, but the fears of business owner and the fears of entrepreneurship. How do you get your clients to push past the fear? Because everybody has them, whether they acknowledge them or not, but they do have them.
This is true. This is true. Everybody does, you know. I get the people who are, I'm fearless in this. Okay, cool. So why haven't you did, you know, why have you not done this? Why is this not completed? Why is this task? Why have you not gone any further than you have? So my biggest thing is reminding people of their why. You know, why did you start this in the first place? What makes you, what is the real message behind why you're doing what you're doing? You know, and I have to remind them, if it's just for the money, you're probably not going to complete it, which is why you can't push past that fear. If it's about serving others, if it's about providing a solution to the problems that are out here, then that's what you know, attach to. Now, of course, yes, you should be compensated for that, but the passion for what you're trying to do or what you're trying to achieve needs to be bigger than just the money. Because if it's just about the money, as soon as you don't feel like doing it and you're not making any income from it, or you're not generating any revenue, that's why people quit. Because they don't, I call it, you have to be in tune with your star player. And if they're not in tune with their star player, usually that's when they quit.
That's very true. And how do you help clients who are stuck on their past failures and mistakes? Obviously, everybody needs to take decisions there, here and there.
Right.
But
I mean, everybody has a past, no matter how great they are, how wonderful they are. I actually just had a coaching call about this yesterday with someone. And the biggest thing with your past is your story. What's your story is your power. And so people don't realize that, take that pain, turn that pain into powerful, that now you become, take that pain and turn it into power, and now you become the powerful. That's what, you know, people are missing out on, where they're trying to hide their story. but their story is what makes them authentic. You get what I mean? Everything right now is authenticity sells. Like when I go live, no matter where I'm at, I'm who I am. You know what I mean? Like I don't try to change it. I don't try to be like someone else. That's another thing that people are out here doing with their marketing. They're so busy trying to be like someone else that we never know who they are, and that hurts their business without them even, without them even realizing, because they are scared of that past story. But that past story is part of the formula that helped them catapult to where they are now, even with their success they've already achieved. But a lot of people don't look at it that way.
That's very true. I always say to my clients that you have a decision to make, whether you're defined by your past and by your failures, or whether you step into your power and start to make different types of decisions, no?
That's it.
So would you, before I give the floor also to everybody that are in here and also watching the live, by the way, you can whether open your microphone, or if you prefer, you can leave the comment in the chat. But what are the 3 recommendations that you would give how to dominate your decade?
If I had to give 3 recommendations, they're probably going to be: make decisions quick, because the more you prolong a decision, that's actually allowing fear to sit in, plus other outside things in your environment is going to take over. Life is not going to stop. So you have to make decisions quick in order to get to where you're trying to get to successfully. The second thing I would say is be able to adapt. Like I have a thing going on right now where I post, don't panic, pivot. You have to you have to know when to pivot. You have to know not panic. You have to just reposition yourself to be able to still adapt to whatever's going on in the world. The world is going to keep turning. The world is going to keep spinning. So if you're able to adapt to what happens in your market, if things change in your industry, if now legislation comes in and they put something on this, well, you have to adapt to that. And the better and the quicker you learn to adapt, the better off you'll be. My last thing would be, give back, put out into the universe what you want reciprocated back. A lot of people looking at things on making money, and that's what I say. No, put out there who are you helping? Who are you helping to serve? What are you doing for your community, or what are you doing? Even if it's not, you're not going out into community or things like that, there's still other things that you can do that they may need, that you may have. Okay, when you give back, that's how the universe reciprocates that back to you. I think those are definitely 3 things that any business owner will help them achieve success if they just, stick to the script of course, as I always say, being who they are. And that should be part of their makeup. If it is not, then they need to make, make that change and actually adapt to that in itself.
How people can reach you, like if they want to ask you something, if they want to comment something, if they want to reach out or take coaching, how they can reach you?
They can reach me at my website, which is actually my name, which should be showing. It's www.marcusblandin.com. And from there, that'll take them to my coaching site. They can schedule me or send us an email, or it has all the information on the website.
And we are taking the questions now. So if you would like to open your microphones or videos, you are welcome to do so. And if not, then you can leave them in the chat, and let me see in Facebook if I have received anything here as well. Why is it important for you to be a philanthropist?
Why is it important to me?
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid who grew up broke with nothing. And I won't say broke, I would say poor, because to me, broke is just a mindset. There's one thing not to have money, there's another thing to be broke. And I always tell people, you have to figure out, if you're broke, what part of you is broke in, so add the in into it. And once you figure out what part of you is broken, then you can also help other people figure that out, and that pushes them past what's holding them back as well. what's the point in going out here and becoming successful and doing all of that type of things? It's not just for you. What are you contributing back to all, to build your legacy? From me writing books to me being the two-time best-selling author, the ghostwriter that I am, those type of things. That's highly important to me as far as giving back, because someone did it for me. I didn't get to where I am just, I didn't have money for a mentor at first. Someone took me under their wing when they saw me putting forth the effort of trying and actually making, a good amount of income with it. And then they took me under their wing and showed me what I didn't know.
Then I have here, who has been the most celebrity person that you have coached or you have interviewed?
That I have interviewed? I don't do interviews. Like, I don't do a lot of interviews. I speak. So for me, I speak on stages onside other celebrities. If I just say who I had to interview, I mean, of course, I would have to say my coach, because I mean, I've talked to him, so that's almost like an interview to me. And I mean, he's the #1 wealth coach in the world without a doubt. So I would have to give that to him on that title. Now, who I've shared the stage with that I enjoyed celebrity wise, I don't know. Like, I've shared the stage with a lot of celebrities. The first one that popped in my head was actually Dr. Phil, believe it or not. And it's just because he sees things from the psychological side of things. And a lot of people underestimate the psychological side of business and how that plays into their marketing, and coming up with their actual message on how they're going to convey their message to their client.
That's very, thank you for sharing with us, because I think it's again something that in today's environment we should consider and see how we're doing. Then we have here, do you have a formula for keeping energy up in these hard times?
Say that part again.
Do you have a formula for keeping energy up in this hard time?
My energy really comes from, it's a part of I call it my daily routine. It's like a system. Everything in this world, no matter how we look at it, is a system. If you look at when you wake up in the morning, I'm almost positive at least 90% of it, you do the exact same things. And this is probably the software engineering side of me, from that degree. But everything in the world operates on systems. Even we as people, we operate on systems. So my regimen is where my energy comes from. I wake up, I'm going to pray, then I'm going to meditate, and then I'm going to turn my music on, because that's how I get ready. My first couple of hours of my day are either something, it's always brain feeding. Once I work out, and usually while I'm working out, I'm feeding my brain. And then from there, I get my motivational messages going. So that's about the first 2 hours of my day. And now I'm ready to do business. Now I'm ready to, bring my gift to the world. And you can't bring, I don't want to bring the gift to the world, like, hey, how you guys are doing? So, you just have to be self-driven with a lot of things, or you have to have an environment and a team and the right people around you that when your energy is low, they help bring you up as well. You get what I mean? That's highly important. My first couple of phone calls, even in the morning, which is why I don't take calls early, is not, they have to be from people who I'm already doing business with, or I know these are positive people when they call me. First thing in the morning, I don't want to hear anything negative. That's just me. And that's what gets me going.
We had a hand up from Berlinski Davis, so you can put your microphone on if you would like to talk with us, or if you prefer to write to us, you can do so as well, but the microphone is yours.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, man? I got a question. So for those who have never ran a business virtually and are now forced to do so, what advice will you give them as the first step to pivoting?
If they never ran a business?
They never ran a business virtually. Now they went from a storefront, so to speak. Now they're running it from their house, and they're trying to understand technology. Most of the people that I've been connecting with, they're having a hard time pivoting, as you said, because they're not used to technology. Do you recommend them getting a coach, getting a mentor, or how should they pivot with that?
You just read the first thing in my mind. That's exactly what we need. Um, and here's the thing. You know, I get all these people, you know, I see it all the time on social media. Oh, I'm self-made. I did this, I did that. No, you did not. No, I don't care how self-made someone tells me they are. You had help at some point. You just the type of person that you don't want to acknowledge the help that you had, because everybody wants to feel like they came up with it by themselves, and that's part of being your authentic self. If someone tells me they were self-made, to me means something different. You know, so I you know, a lot of people say self-made, it means that they did it on their own. You know, to me, self-made means that you took the initiative to take the initial steps to get the ball rolling. And then now the law of attraction happened to where you already had the momentum. And as we know, momentum flying through anything fast enough attracts everything else in the way it should. Well, you know, if you're gonna go from, it's just like when I'm on when I was on a corporate consultant for affiliated computer services, when everything got ready to go remote, you know, we came in and had to get the proposals together and get everything to help them do that. So what the people need to do who are making the pivot to online and doing a lot of digital stuff now, if you are not tech savvy, the first thing you need to do, whether it be a virtual assistant, real assistant, or find someone to help you, I recommend everybody get a coach. If you're going to pivot, you definitely need a coach. And that's not me something you anything, that's just the honest truth, because coaches think differently than how not normal people, but how a lot of people think. You know, we're forecasting, we're figuring out things before they happen. Prime example, back in January, I put up a post, and I actually had a whole webinar set called positioning for the new year, and that covered some of going remote or going digital, you know, and those type of things, because you should automatically have that side to your business, to me, even if you have a brick and mortar anyway. But at some point, everything is going to go, in my opinion, to virtual. So why not go ahead and get a game, you know, and get ahead of the game now? Not only that, not just going virtual, but go ahead and get your digital platform together where people can find everything about you online, as well as your services and your products.
I can add on here. I'm not very tech savvy either, but to be honest, in the weeks now which we have been quarantined, I literally took two courses. It doesn't mean that I'm going to do it physically, but for me as a business owner, I need to understand how it works and what are the principles. So, for example, if you want to understand how the sales funnels are working, go take, like, there's a click funnel, one funnel away, 30-day challenge. Do it. It really puts you to think on a lot of things and walks you through. And whatever, like, there's so many courses, and a lot of them are, by the way, for free today, which hasn't happened before. But again, like, to connect the information that you are, whether you read a book, whether you're taking a course, whatever, then the coach will be the connecting point. Because I see with a lot of people that they say, oh, I have read thousands of books, and when I start to work with them, then the first thing is that they have read but never ever applied the things in their life.
Exactly.
The speed of the implementation is crucial. Because if you read something and you don't really act on it within 24 hours, this is going to be another book or information. So
I 1000% agree. Everybody I coach, we have this. You probably saw it on my social media, but may not know what it means. People hashtag the word first 48. That means they're implementing something within 48 hours, either of me teaching it to them, whether it be one of our online platforms or whether it was one-on-one coaching. But it's a requirement with certain things that, especially one-on-one coaching, because my one-on-one coaching is my time. It's not about the money. I value time. And so with the one-on-one coaching, if they're not going to implement one thing from that call within the first 48 hours, I may very well remove them from my coaching program.
Yeah, if
Because
you're not willing to do the work, then nothing will work.
right. Everybody thinks like the coach will do the work. No, the coaches do not. I need everybody to understand. Your coach will not do the work for you.
Yeah.
What your coach will do is give you that playbook. It depends on what type of coach you have. So I can only speak for me. I know some coaches who don't, but they'll give you that playbook. But any sport that you've ever played, the coach can have the best playbook in the world, but if the players don't run the play right, the play is ineffective. You get what I mean? So the person who's being coached, you have to run the plays that the coach are calling, and when the coach calls an audible, you have to adjust, and you have to do exactly what the coach is saying, and don't get parts of the play. And if you just, let's just say you call a play and you got 11 team and two people run a different play, it doesn't work.
I absolutely like your resemblance with sports, because indeed, like there, you need to work in order to have results, and that
Yes.
the same mindset should be applied to doing business as well. We have another. What tools do you recommend to turn pain into power?
What tool?
Yeah.
Heart. And do things that you need to do to change your mindset. The greatest real estate that you can ever invest in is 6 inches between here and here, right? So, that is the ultimate investment. I don't care what you are worth. That's the one thing that no one can ever take away from you is your knowledge. So, you can lose everything that has monetary value to it and things like that, but you will learn to get it all back if you stretch your mind in a certain way and implemented certain things to where now you've helped yourself level up. So everything starts with you as a person, or as I call it in one of the chapters of my book, I call it mirror, the person in the mirror. And when you're looking in the mirror, if that picture that you're seeing in the mirror, the reflection may be very well perfect, you're beautiful, you're sexy, Dex, you're handsome, whatever it may be, right? But if your picture is tainted or smeared across your mirror, whatever, mentally, until you get through that mental block, or until you get that out of your subconscious, all these things that have been planted there throughout, let's just say life in general, until you learn to reprogram that and take the good out, take the bad out and put the good in. So now your conscious pool, I call them thoughts of power. Then, you just have to start with you. That's part of your personal development. So another part aside of coaching is personal development. You have to develop yourself personally as well, or you'll be stuck.
Fantastic. Any other comments? Everybody needs a coach. Totally agree. Powerful points and advice. Great stuff. What do we have here? We have people all over the world, from Estonia, from UK,
Good.
from Mexico, obviously, from US. Thank you for joining us. Last call for any questions, recommendations, comments. Anyone else? Jaya is waiting for us. Hey, greetings to UK. Thank you for joining. Marisol, would you like to share with us something? Put your microphone on. We see that your mouth is moving, but your microphone is not on.
I can't hear. Do you have to unmute her?
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
There she go.
I've been just listening. It's very, very helpful. All you guys are doing for all the communities regarding businesses, the real life we are actually going through. I mean, I really just need to listen to you. I mean, I don't really have a lot to give you right now. I'm very grateful that I have some work still and I'm working from home.
Okay.
And I'm very grateful for all of you, what you're doing. I mean, it's very, very helpful what you give every day to us, you know. Thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Marisol. Michael. You showed your face, but then you put your face away. So I'm pretty sure you wanted to share something with us. And we have a raised hand. Yep, you can put your microphone on again. Yeah.
Don't I know this guy?
All right. Hey, so man, I tell you, this is what's going on. I'm over here taking notes, man. But check this out. So I'm one of your students in Millionaires International, right? And I enrolled right in the time before this pandemic happened because it allowed me to really check the, as you would say, the holes in my bucket, right? So I was able to really restructure my foundation because my foundation was jacked up, right? So now, just my question is, how important is structure and foundation in preparing for what's to come next? When this is over, why is structure and foundation so important? Because I believe, and I've been teaching this to some of my mentees, that they chase money. However, they never built the foundation or SOPs, as you always say. How important is the structure and foundation? Thank you.
It's everything. The structure and foundation to me comes from, you know, who you are, your morals. You know, are you a business owner with a certain level of integrity and things of that nature? Because that's going to decide what type of business you build, no matter what type of business it is to me. So the foundation is just like the foundation on a house. If your foundation is cracked, the value of the house, you know what I mean? And it's no good until you get your foundation together. Well, it's the same thing. In order to build the house, what's the first thing you have to build? The foundation. You get what I mean? So it's like going to build a roof. If you're gonna build a roof and you haven't even, you know, built the structure of the house, you know, you haven't put up anything with the skeleton, the roof collapsed. And so this is how I look at people who are chasing the money. The money is the roof, but you didn't build a foundation based on integrity, ethics, and things that you need, that you're bringing out to that market or to that industry to serve other people. Serve is going to be the key word to me always, because if you're serving others, you are the solution to several problems, not just one. That's where the multiple streams of income come in at. You already know me when it comes to even the real estate investing side. You know, we tied that to the financial solutions company dealing with credit repair and helping people fix their credit. Why? Because we already own this home that once they help them get this together, we're going to merge the two to help them get the home that they're looking for. You know, and it's just part of helping rebuild some of these communities out here. Everybody doesn't have the blessings that other people have. So other people need help. You know, a lot of people need help, and you know, we're here, and I tell anybody I coach, figure out the people that need your help. Those are the people you target. But that alone in itself, if you build it right, if you structure it right and you have a strong foundation, here's the other side to that. When someone attacks, because when you're successful, someone attacks always. Well, how strong is the house that you built? Get what I mean? The structure not right, the foundation not right, the house will collapse. But if you build things the right way, you was always 100% authentic. You were always you. You were always the best you that you could be. And you're just yourself. You know, there's only one of you, right? So if we're looking at, if you go and they fingerprint you, there's only one of you in the world. Why would you want to be anybody else? Like, I don't care who the person is, you're amazing. And if you don't think you're amazing, you need to go do some soul searching. And you need to go figure out who you are as a person before you even come out to try to serve anybody else. Serve yourself first. That's not selfish. That's getting in tune with your star player. That's getting yourself aligned and getting on a higher frequency so you can vibrate higher when things do happen. It's just all about value.
Couldn't agree more. Lately, I've been hearing a lot about authentic values, which I was like, why would even people think that values are not authentic? But then I heard one very interesting podcast, and it was said that the authentic values are something that would really comes from that we are authentic. Right. But we have a lot of influence by social values. And what does it mean is that so many people are chasing those shiny things, and they get confused that this is what their values are. Like, what is your feedback or comment on that? Like, how do you see? Like, you see so many people. Do they?
Right.
Do they want to earn on based on their real needs and desires, or this is like everybody's doing? I should do it as well.
Right. I call that shiny object syndrome.
That's a good one.
Shiny object syndrome, which means you can't focus. The key to building a successful business, the key to building wealth or anything else that you're trying to do is your focus. You know, if a dog, you know, I'm gonna put it this way because a lot of people will get it. If you take a dog that likes to chase cars, well, if it chases every car that runs by, it's never gonna catch any car. But if it's consistently chasing this one car, eventually that car has to stop and the dog will catch it. You know, that's just a good way to put it, because a lot of people get it when I put it that way. But first of all, everything is not for you. Everything is not for everybody. You know, there's some things out here right now that people do, you know, and they call them shortcuts or whatever they want to call them. But if it doesn't align with who I am as a person, if it makes me compromise my integrity as a person, we can take business out of it. If it makes me compromise who I am as a person, I'm not doing it. You know, that's just me. Not to say that I'm perfect or anything like that. What I'm saying is I have built to be the person that I am now, because as my statement that I tell anybody is, if you knew me yesterday, you probably don't know me today. Because every day I'm trying to be a better version than who I was the day before. You know, one of my mottos is, and I say it all the time, I wake up broke every day so I can go to bed rich and wealthy. You know, and people are like, well, why is that? And I'm like, look, because I wake up every day hungry. I wake up every day trying to figure out who can I help, who can I help and solve their problem. And in the midst of me solving their problem, I also get compensated for it. My time. Time is the number one thing that we could never get back. You know, I know a lot of wealthy people who, if they had 15 more minutes, you know, that person who didn't make it to the hospital to them would have made it. And they would have given any amount of money in the world to be able to just freeze time to get that person time to get there. So I wasn't always this way. I mean, I was, you know, a crazy young knucklehead kid at one point. You know, I was still an entrepreneur. I still had, you know, my friends working for me. You know, we had paper routes, and I had 5 paper routes, and I paid each one of my friends $20, but I made $100 a week. So I would pay them $20. I made $120 a week, or maybe 123, somewhere I'm rounding. But I would make $120, and I would give them 20 and I would keep 100. You know, but I was making $500 a week as a kid off paper routes, and I didn't have to do the work. So once I figured that out, and I was still playing football, you know, I was on to something. So that's like my first aha moment, that if you try to do it by yourself, it takes you may do it, but it will take you 10 times longer. And you cannot scale a business by yourself. You need a team for that. You definitely need a team. You can start it, but in order to scale and grow it, you need a team. You know, and people always ask me, well, what's the difference between scale and grow? You know, in case someone even thinking it, you know, you can grow a business but that doesn't mean you're generating a higher revenue. You just grew. You went from 100 employees to 200, but the revenue that the business is making didn't change. You know, your profit margins didn't increase. Like, so your profitability is still is tanking. Well, that's not scaling. You didn't scale that business. You know, you want to get you want to scale it to where now your net income is much higher than it was before. You know, once you run your books, you know, you want to finish in the black.
So right. So let's repeat. There's a lot of people who joined us afterwards in
Okay.
as well. How people can contact you. So if they have something in their mind and they're
the easiest way to contact me is through my website, which is my name, which should be showing. But if for those who are listening, is Marcus MarcusBlandin.com. That is going to be the easiest way to find me or contact my team, or if you need coaching, see what's available, or just shoot us an email, and they'll usually answer that. Emails, we usually answer emails within about 24 hours. We try. Sometimes we get flooded, you know, but that comes with building, you know, a global brand in itself.
Perfect. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you everybody that joined us today's call from all over the world, and I think we have a lot of people from Atlanta as well with us. And
Great.
Your students as well, welcome. So let me just remind everybody and also people that are first time on those calls why we are doing it. So the idea is to really support the community. It doesn't matter where you live, whether you live in Atlanta, whether you live in Los Cabos, whether you live in Tallinn, whether you live in London, we're here to support you. So in order to be able to do that, we need your engagement. We need to understand what are your needs and where we can support and help you. So you can send us questions, you can send us recommendations, and if you don't want to do it publicly, then you can either contact me or you can contact Marcos. So we're here to serve. And today is the time that if we change even just one life in each of our calls, then our mission is completed. So if you were listening today and you think that someone might need that type of information that we shared today on this call, please share that, because then you are becoming that hero that changed their life. And I want you to think about one more thing. We become our conversations. So look around. Who are your 5 closest friends that you talk every day? And be very much aware from where do you ask advice from. We tend to do it by asking from our relatives or from our neighbors, who usually do not have any clue about the topic. And that can be one of the major failure for you, because you're doing something which you shouldn't be doing. And you're wasting your energy on it, and you're wasting maybe even your money on it. So if you need some type of information or support, then look for someone who has done it, has results, and turn to that person. So all those coaches, all those authors, speakers, which we have been presenting daily from Monday till Friday, are here to serve you. Everybody is from different fields, so I pretty much we cover everybody. Obviously, Marcos is absolutely number one, which concerns finances and any type of starting, scaling, or growing your business. So obviously, number one recommendation. And I hope that you liked what we were discussing today. I hope it was valuable for you, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Marcos, would you like to say something?
The only thing I would end with is guys, learn how to, tell your story. A lot of people feel like their story doesn't matter, but I promise you, there are people out here, they are waiting on your story. And when I'm saying your story, whether you want to be a speaker or whether you just want to build your virtual platform to where you can offer courses that help someone else, where you're still serving at that point, no matter how you look at it. If you want to be successful in business, it's real simple. Figure out who you can serve and figure out the problems that you can be the solution to. And as long as you can do that and learn to adapt to the ever-changing market, you'll be successful. Of course, stay laser focused as well. Those would be the things that I would end with for sure. And as long as you get your best business practices on and study business and practice business the same way you would if you were a basketball player trying to get better at free throws, you would practice those free throws every day. Well, what makes you think you're the GOAT when it comes to business if you don't practice that business or whatever you're doing every single day?
Amen. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention, and see you tomorrow.